welcome to the April 9th, 2026 Conservation Commission meeting, and we will start with the Pledge of Allegiance. Okay, we're going to start with the roll call, so I think we'll just go around the room, and if you say your name.
Sure. Elizabeth Dudley.
Brian Ward.
Ellen Snyder.
Zach Angelini.
Luke Fromm. Jeff Goldman.
Colin Lawson.
Andrea Fry.
Great. Okay, so you've got a bunch of stuff in front of you. This is a transition night where we elect new officers. So just bear with us. We'll be a little bit of sharing information and moving through the process. I'm just going to give you an outline. So you should have in your packet in front of you. That's okay. You should have something that says April 9th recommendations for officers, reps to various committees, and then topics and projects. It's a one-page sheet. People find that?
Towards that, second to that.
Thank you. So I'm just going to explain this because the first thing we're going to do, actually the first thing I have to do, no, we're going to do this first. First thing we're going to do is vote for officers, and then we have some representatives to committees to vote for. And then at the bottom, there's topics and projects, which we decided to, list a whole bunch of stuff that we've been working on, and that people can, put their name to if they want to be involved in those things. So these are not, these are not elected offices. These are not votes we're taking. But if you're interested, we're trying to just build, get people more involved in different things. So I did reach out to some of you. So some of your names are here, and you can, move them around or add your name to other places. But you can either leave this at the end with Zach, or take it home and bring it to the next meeting or something, or email Zach, whatever you'd like to do. So we will start with officers, and so I'm pleased to recommend a slate of officers that we would vote on if you're accepting of this. Zach Angelini has agreed to be chair. Luke Fromm has agreed to be vice chair, and I would continue as the treasurer. So I would endorse a motion to that effect.
I make a motion to approve those appointments.
And do we have a second?
Aye.
Second discussion?
Theoretically,
Would like to be? Sure.
Didn't want one of you, so it's not. But I mean,
We can do that. Sure, we can do that. Very good. All right, we'll start with chair. So a motion to approve Zach Angelini as chair of the Conservation Commission.
I make a motion to approve Zach chair.
Okay, second? Yes. Any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
aye.
And a motion to appoint Luke Fromm as vice chair.
The motion to approve Luke as vice chair.
Thank you. Second, any further discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
And
I make a motion to approve Ellen Snyder as the treasurer.
second? Yes, thank you. Any further discussion? No, you're not appointed yet tonight, so at this point we're still, I think we could have done that, but sorry about that. We'll do that next. Okay, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Very good, thank you, and thank you, Zach and Luke, for. So at this point, Zach is now our chair of the Conservation Commission, which is very exciting. I'm going to turn the meeting over to him.
All right, thanks everybody. Yeah, bear with me as I still am learning the protocol and whatnot. So yeah, first I think for tonight we are gonna just go through and appoint. There's 2 positions of representatives that we need to nominate. So one being the energy and environment position. I think we're assuming that George would like to renew his position on that. So I would like to nominate George for that.
I'll second that.
All in favor? Discussion. All right, all in favor say aye.
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 All right, and then the second one is a representative for the Riverfront Advisory Committee. I think Jess had expressed interest in that, so I would like to nominate Jess. Do we have a second?
I will second that.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye. Awesome. All right, thank you.
Can we maybe just a point, just to note that the next one down on that list is a rep to the Planning Technical Review Committee, which is somewhat of a new position for us, having a rep on that. And Luke has been appointed by the Planning Department, I think technically part of that. So thank you for serving on that. So we now have a rep to technical reviewer when like a wetlands permit comes in. We now have a rep on that committee. So I think it's, you know, Jeff, it's like the engineer, town engineer, DPW, planning. Who else?
Yeah, it's supposed to be, it's like technical review before something comes to the planning board in order to kind of get it more moving, to get the first meeting is more productive, because the time frame's kind of short to get things through, so the idea is to move the technical review in front of the first.
Thank you. That's it.
Ellen, were you gonna go through these as well?
No, I don't think we can do it.
Okay.
So we could, you
Okay.
you can appoint. So Chris is not here. So George and Chris are full, no, Chris is an alternate. George is a full member. He's not here. And I think that's it. So you can appoint one person. So we have Andrea and Mikhail.
Awesome. Okay, all right, so moving right along, now we'll open it up for, yep.
So Jeff, Colin, Jeff,
I'm not a, I'm the voting member, but a rep from the planning.
7, including Jeff. Yep. So Luke, me.
I'm just here as a town councilor, I'm not
Yeah.
voting on, I can't vote on it.
And George is a voting member, so, but Chris is not. So I think George is the only missing full member.
If we're doing assigned seating, we have like a non-voting member.
I am an
Yeah.
alternate.
Yeah.
Well, I was a voting member last session, that's why it's confusing.
Thank you.
Is that okay?
What?
Okay, that you made the motion.
Oh. Right, yeah, sorry, we should, what did you make the motion for? Which one?
The appointment.
Okay, so you should just, we had enough, so just put 6, 0.
Do you have to be a voting member to make
Yep,
a motion?
yeah. Thank you. Thank you for that.
Who are the voting members? The
I know
full
we have a
members.
lot of members and some here and some not, so I think we're good. So Andrea's now a voting member going forward. So just take her off the last vote. Just put,
No, it's that,
Oh.
Elizabeth made the motion to appoint
Right.
Zach and Luke and Ellen.
Sorry.
Maybe I was temporary voting member.
No, that's okay.
I can make a motion if I should.
Yeah. Let's do
So
that.
I should state that George, Jessica, and Luke all get appointed to their positions as per the document we have in front of us.
Okay, I'll second
All in favor say aye.
that. Aye.
We got there.
All right, great.
Technically, we have to actually go back and redo the officers too, because she was not voting in. Elizabeth made all the motions. So we'll just put, Jess will make the motion. And somebody else just needs to second those. Colin, would you second those officers?
I will second.
I would just do it.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
There we go. Thank you, Alan.
Nice. All right, awesome. Now we will open up for public comment. If there's any. Are you here for public comment? Okay. Okay, cool. So just sitting in. Same. Great. So I'm sorry this is the one that you're sitting in on because we're a little bit clunky, but. All right. Okay. All right. Well, yeah. Thank you for joining us. Let us know if you have any questions. Okay, so we're now going to move into our public hearing. So I'm officially going to open the public hearing and read this here. So in accordance with RSA 36A5, the Newmarket Conservation Commission is holding this public hearing on the expenditure of funds from the Conservation Fund for a sum not to exceed $16,000 for the acquisition of a conservation easement on the Rosa property for conservation purposes. The property is located at 240 Wadleigh Falls Road, Newmarket, tax map R5 lot 81, approximately 16 acres. Funds may be used for the purchase price, transaction costs, and related expenses associated with this acquisition. The remainder of the project costs, acquisition and transition costs, will come from grants, a warrant article, and other non-town funds. So is there any public comment on that? Perfect. All right, we officially close the public hearing. So our next order of business is approving the meeting minutes from our meeting on March 12th, 2026. Do you have anyone who would like to do that?
I can make a motion to approve the meetings as written for the March 12th, 2026 meeting.
I'll second that.
All in favor say aye. Oh, or any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All right.
I'll abstain. Wasn't
Okay.
I know it.
All right, next we'll move on to our treasurer's report. Over to you, Ellen.
All right. So I actually did a little different this month. You have a memo from me from today. If you can find it in your packet, it's got the financial summary at the top, and then there's a bunch of recommended some discussions and motions, which we will do as we move through the agenda. I think they're all on there, so, although I might do some of these sooner. So the conservation fund balance is $152,914.22. And the Shanda fund balance is $2,190.64. The conservation fund, we got interest. We have we got most or 3/4 of the sponsorship for Turtle Fest, so that goes into the conservation fund, but it's being tracked a little bit separately. We got $550 from LCHIP for monitoring the easement on our Piscassic River Loisel, which is money we get every year from LCHIP, which is kind of nice for doing that work. We have paid out to John Herman for the T-shirt design for Turtle Fest, which I'm wearing right now, which is pretty awesome. We'll talk about that a little bit later. So I think we will. Just trying to think. I think we should do a couple votes now because they're not really on the agenda. So we just had the public hearing on the Rosa, and although we've had several votes about the Rosa project and contributing money, we never had a public hearing, and so I think it would be beneficial for us to officially vote to expend up to $16,000 from the Conservation Fund for the acquisition of the conservation easement on the Rosa project property. And that way we're ready to roll once we get our final funding in place. So I would recommend that motion.
Second.
Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
That's right,
Nice
Ken.
second.
Yeah, absolutely.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye. Great. And also, we did discuss at our last meeting transferring the Shanda park to DPW for maintenance, and that we were going to transfer the remaining balance of our fund to the town for the maintenance of the park. And I just thought, again, it would be nice to make an official vote that we were going to specifically transfer those funds over to the town. I think the town council still needs to do the official resolution where the town would accept that, but I assume that will happen shortly, in short order. So just to sort of move this along, I proposed a motion to that.
That can legally happen. I don't know, there was something like when the funds were originally.
The
Something
Shanda
about-
Park Fund was a donation, but it said for Shanda Park. It didn't really specify that. I mean, it's for the maintenance of Shanda Park.
The town, like,
Yeah.
line item or
Yeah.
something.
I mean, that's why I think the motion, we're specifically saying it has to be for the maintenance of Shanda Park. It's not for other purposes.
Do we get a second on that? You want me to do a second?
I'm sorry, I thought someone,
Okay.
Who first made the motion?
I didn't think anything. That's why I
Yeah.
spoke.
Yeah.
All right, do we have a motion? for that?
Yeah, I'll make a motion that we transfer those funds to the town.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Hi. Great. I think the other ones are Turtle Fest, which we'll talk about under Turtle Fest. I'm going to talk about a rain barrel and then a bike rack. So we'll do those a little bit later. So I think that's it. Unless anybody has questions about, for some reason I didn't put in the general fund balance, so let me read that off. Find it. Two pages, so I can't. Okay, sorry. Geez, this thing at least. All right. Ready, Marge? The general fund balance is $3,287.48. The expenditures in March were for the part-time salary for Ellen. Take our minutes. Okay.
All right, so next order of business is our Turtle Fest 2026 planning. So a lot of exciting updates on that. It's right around the corner. I think we're in a really good place. So there's some documents in your packet. So maybe first, if you want to look at the agenda here, this flyer, we gave you all a copy. Feel free to post it somewhere in town where you think it'll get some good traction. But you can see, I think we probably discussed this in the last meeting, but just to refresh everyone on the agenda here, we're starting with the Great Bird Walk from 7 to 8:45 a.m. And then presentations and activities will kick off at 9. So we'll have some time for people to mingle and peruse the exhibits. We have a bunch of great exhibitors that are going to be here. And then we will move into some presentations. We have a bunch of great speakers and also some children's activities run by the library. And then after kind of the formal session, we will have a wetlands field trip from 1 to 3, which will also be great. So yeah, feel free to hang this up somewhere around town where you think it'll get some good visibility. And also just when you're chatting to people about this, just remind them to bring cash or check when they come, because that's how they will get their Turtle Fest t-shirts, bandanas, and be able to enter the raffle, which we will talk about next. So I guess we're starting with the t-shirt and bandana. Ellen is modeling
Okay,
our
I
t-shirt
will
here.
model this. This is another John Herman design, which is pretty awesome. So we did a t-shirt, and we did a bandana, which is kind of like a flag, but it's a bandana. Yeah, fashionable.
So yeah, two really
And
nice.
these are $10, and the t-shirts are $20.
Exactly.
And we have them if anybody wants to buy them.
Yeah.
Right now.
You can buy them right now.
Sweet. So yeah, make sure to tell people about those. I know my T-shirt last year got a lot of people asking where I got it, so I think they're desirable. They're now collectible items. We have 2 years in a row. Yeah. So then, in addition to that, so we'll have someone at Turtle Fest tabling to sell these when people come in. They'll also be for sale at the library. Is that it?
And the town clerk's office.
Town clerk's office, yeah. So if you bump into people kind of after the event and they say, hey, where'd you get that shirt? You can point them to those locations where there may or may not be some extra at that point. So in addition to the shirts and bandanas, there'll also be an opportunity for folks to enter a raffle. So we got some great donations for the raffle. You can see this is in your packet as well. What do we have here? So yeah, we have a shirt donated by New Hampshire Turtle Rescue, a few different options there. That's a $40 value. There is a David Carroll turtle print and book, Following the Water, which is a $50 value. We got a great red tail hawk woodblock print from John Herman, the same artist that made our great Turtle Fest t-shirts and bandanas. A rain barrel, which we're going to talk more about tonight, so we'll learn more about that, but that's a great gift as well. A bat house and a kayak or paddle tour from Seven Rivers Paddling. So some really cool prizes for folks. There's $1 for one ticket, $5 for 6 tickets, or $10 for 12 tickets. So we'll have that going on during the event, but then also same deal, I think, opportunity for folks to enter
At the public library.
At the public
It's
library.
all, so you can go there and, yeah, have tickets.
Yep.
So the library has the raffle until the day of the event, and then the raffle will be at the day of the event. So you can buy, yeah, you can go buy tickets now up until the event. Yeah.
And then our final Turtle Fest item here, we have this document, the Turtle Fest 2026 tasks. So I'm going to hand it over to Ellen for that, but first of all, just want to say a huge thank you to everyone that has just done a ton of work to get us to this point. We're in a really good place. You can see here a lot of folks kind of signed up for these tasks, just a few more that we need to get covered, and yeah, we should be good.
Yeah, I'll just go through real quick. So you have the flyer. Chris Blackstone is doing some PR, so she's going to get the word out to some local newspapers and radio and other locations. We have the t-shirt design, we have the t-shirts and bandanas, and we have the raffle prizes in hand, so all that's going along very nicely. New Hampshire Turtle Rescue is going to do a presentation at the library on Tuesday, I believe. Let's see, I have a date here. Tuesday, May 5th, so that's before the May 9th event, so they're going to be there again with live turtles at the library at 4 p.m. if people are interested in that. And so the main thing is I think we have about 12 exhibitors lined up this year, which is more than we had last year. We have Seacoast Science Center is coming, and they're bringing some live turtles apparently. Thank you, Jess. We got lots of other really interesting exhibitors, so I think it'll be really educational. And they'll be inside the auditorium where the speakers are as well, so people will be able to, be listening to that as well as hearing the speakers and participate. So, and then the library will have their children's activities in sort of the hallway outside, and there'll be one other room where one of the speakers will be when there's a concurrent session. So thank you to the high school, high school again for hosting us. They do a nice job with that. So a couple things that are happening the day of that we could use some people to help with if you know you're going to be there. Chris will be joining Dick Lutz on the bird walk, so she'll do that, and I'll be joining Mark West on the field trip in the afternoon, but if other people are interested in joining, feel free to sign up for that. We will probably start setting up around 8 or 8:30 at the high school on Saturday morning. Sometimes it's helpful to have a bunch of us there to just make sure we're getting the table set up, and when exhibitors come in, set up, it's good to have people help out. It will be really nice to have people help sell the t-shirts and bandanas, so we'll have a table with those, and we'll have a table with the raffle tickets, and we'll also have our own TC display with an accordion board that we'll have. And so I know Jess has agreed to help sell raffle tickets. I have a Veronique who lives in Newmarket but works for Durham. She's going to help sell raffle tickets as well, but we need people to help sell the t-shirts, and I'd be happy to be at the display or sell raffle tickets. If there's availability and interest to help us out.
What are we doing for, last year I came in early and helped on the food and stuff.
Yeah,
Are
we still need
doing
somebody
that
to
again?
get food if you're interested in helping with that.
Okay, yeah, I'll
Would
do
you like to
that.
do that? Okay, great. I think I forgot to put that on the list, actually. Can't forget snacks. Maybe that's up top. All right, I'm gonna put you down too, Colin. We can work on that together if you want. Awesome. Do you want to do? Oh, great. Excellent. Yeah. Yeah. So last year we had it in the lobby, which was a little jammed up. Plus, if you were doing that, you couldn't really participate in the event. So we're gonna have it right inside, and so there'll be the T-shirts and bandanas, and then there'll be the raffle, and then there'll be our display. So, yeah.
So is this in the event entrance or like the front?
The front, the very front.
Okay.
Yeah, the main lobby. We'll go right in there, and we're in the auditorium for most of the events.
Okay.
That day. And I think Bart's going to do the welcome, and Zach will do the introductions. So the rest of us who are there can just help with all the other.
Yeah, I can meet you early and help set up.
Great. Thanks, Andrea.
So you want to meet at 8:30?
I think 8:30 is going to be fine.
Okay.
Last year we got there at 8 and we were standing around.
Right.
The school is really good at setting it all up for us, and so it's really just when the exhibitors start coming in. I don't think we'll be able to get there.
Last year, did we ever collect the names of the participants?
No, I mean, people can sign up like we might have a clipboard that if you're interested in conservation activities, put down your name.
Yeah. I
We
was just
don't
wondering
go-
if there was another opportunity to even like send a postcard to people that had come. I
Last
mean,
year,
maybe they'll
yeah.
see it, but maybe they won't, the advertisement on it.
Yeah.
So I didn't know if there was a way to sort of keep people posted at the dates for this year.
Yeah, I mean, we have a network of just people we know, but we don't publish.
Yeah.
Hey, can we use like a T-shirt or like black after?
I don't know. I don't know. We could. I think the idea would be just to have a clipboard and say, "Are you interested in conservation-related stuff?" People tend to. Awesome. So yeah, so you can keep, emailing me or Zach if you've got some other specific interest in that.
All right. Any thoughts, questions on Turtle Fest?
Oh, sorry, I do have one thing I wanted to do financially. So on your funding page again, so the bottom there at Turtle Fest 2026. So we've raised $1,900 from our sponsors, and of course we'll raise more money through our T-shirt and bandana sales and the raffle, presumably. So, is that me? Oh, maybe the phone's. Perfect. There we go. Let's that. Okay. So we had approved John Herman, and we had approved the purchase of the T-shirts from Lamb Silk Screen or Screen Silk Screen. So we paid for those, but I thought it would be helpful to approve in advance the two speakers we have, which is Tailwinds for $325. They're bringing the live birds, and Dick Lutz, who's leading Birdwalk in, giving a talk for $300. And then up to $400, which I don't think it'll cost that, but for the refreshments, coffee, supplies, for making various things. So I thought it's nice to approve that in advance, and so when we get the invoice, we can pay them right away. I don't have to wait another month to pay them. So if people would be willing, I would entertain that one. That's my question.
Yeah. Do we have a motion? Can we do a second?
You can do all of those
Okay.
together.
Yeah. Motion to approve the $325 for Tailwinds, $300 for Richard Lutz, and $400 for supplies and refreshment.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye. Thank you.
All right. All good on that? Okay. All right. So our next item tonight is just an update on Big Night or Big Nights. So we've chatted about this a few times in the past, but for anyone that's new or that needs a refresher, so this is the few nights in the spring. It's the first time there's a warm rain when the ground is thawed and all or most amphibians wake up from their winter hibernation and migrate to vernal pools. It's a time where they're very susceptible to road getting run over, where there's roads crossing their migration paths. And so a few years ago, I did a training with the Harris Center that organizes volunteers to go out and help at those crossing sites up in the Keene area. And I've gone out a few times and went out again this year to Bay Road, where there was actually like a good amount of crossing. It's not, there's some spots where it's really dense and you can kind of be in one spot, and volunteers can kind of help move a lot of amphibians all at once. For this, I walked like multiple miles up and down Bay Road, but over the course of the night, it's probably like 2 hours. I moved probably like about 50 little spring peepers and a bunch of different types of salamanders, which was cool. Some pictures if you're interested. I think there were like 6 different species
Yeah, it was
of
amazing.
salamanders,
Um,
and 2 blue spotted salamanders, which are actually really rare. So we reported those to, I think, the Fish and Game, so that their habitat is kind of identified. But yeah, I think there's a good amount of people who have been interested. About 2 years ago, I put out an announcement on the What Is Going On in Newmarket Facebook page, and there were a bunch of folks said they were interested, and we got probably, I want to say like 10 to 15 to come out and volunteer. So it's something we've talked about organizing again. I think we're still kind of assessing like the best location. Bay Road isn't the safest road to have volunteers out on. But yeah, that's just something that we're going to be thinking about for next year and seeing if we can organize a bit more, and maybe just even get the word out to people to stay off the roads on those nights, and a way to kind of get that message out when it happens, because you don't really know. It's kind of like a day of thing that it's going to happen.
Yeah, so it's already,
Yeah.
it's just one night and it's already happened.
It's usually across multiple nights. It kind of depends on the conditions. If it's like all of a sudden
Depends
the
on the weather.
perfect conditions, yeah, it might happen kind of all at once, but
But it's
this
already
year it's
happened
been,
this year.
it's still happening. It's kind of staggered.
yeah, the
this
big night
year.
was probably that night, though.
The biggest,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
I mean,
March
I-
26th there was a lot, but it's probably still happening.
Yeah, and it got
Well-
cold again, so. things might not
Well, I mean, I'd be happy to help volunteer, but I'm not sure what night that would be. But
Yeah,
I mean, so are you still posting for?
So I
that?
didn't this year. This year I want to go out myself and kind of like assess the location a little bit more to think about next year for organizing volunteers. So yeah, I'm actually still kind of up in the air on Bay Road whether it makes sense to have volunteers out there.
Where did you do it on Bay Road then?
I started like I parked on Cushing Road and walked like an hour up and an hour back. Yeah, and there were definitely some spots that were like hotter spots, but it was pretty like spread out throughout. We did do some work last year with UNH students who identified potential other areas, but the only other area we identified was
Dame Road, which is a gravel road,
Dame Road, and
so high traffic.
we went out there to check, and we were the only car on the road that whole night. So we were like, okay, it doesn't really make sense.
But if you're looking for like publicity, that being like I plug this in the middle school, like I pull up that Harris website, and like guys, I'm not telling you to dance around in the road, but like it's so cool to
It
see
is.
some of the large salamanders and stuff. So like, as far as like exposure, that could be a good location.
True.
But like saving the wildlife, I don't know, like there's that big vernal pool down at like the Four Corners, Great Road.
Yeah, I mean, the Harris
Yeah,
Center,
kids do
yeah,
that.
sorry. Yeah, the Harris Center really is like the best resource. And
Yeah.
It's not like we have to reinvent it. So as long, I don't know if you get their newsletter, but the Harris Center in Hancock.
So they would.
They do a big event.
propose nights for.
Yeah, they tell
all
us.
of the
Yeah,
salamanders.
essentially. Yeah.
They have
Yeah.
a forecast calendar.
Yeah.
You can look at. It's based on like warmness and rain, and then it's green,
Yeah.
go, and then just go out.
And,
I think it's like a weekly email, right?
and they mention local areas.
No, you have to find your own over here, but they tell you when to go out and look and all the safety precautions, how you should do it. They've got all kinds of resources. So
Yeah, they have a great recorded like training video that kind of tells you everything you need to know, equipment you should bring. It's like headlamp, reflective vest, flashlight.
I think that Bay Road site, they have marked that, so if we
It is
established
there.
other sites, they would,
Mhm.
you know, put that in their,
Yeah, exactly.
Is that near where the crossing is there? The culvert crossing in Bay Road, below Point Road?
There actually was almost nothing there.
Mhm.
I think because that's too like permanent water body maybe. Or-
Could be, yeah.
It
They're
was
not going to
actually
stream
it was a
train.
section before that, closer to town, and there was another section right after. What's that? Right after the Nature Conservancy, like the park. What's the trail? The parking
Oh,
lot.
Sweet
right?
Trail? Sweet Trail?
Yeah, right. Like
Yeah.
right after that, there was another kind of hot
Mm,
spot.
mhm.
Yeah.
What's the you know the temperature of that? They use-
It's they say above 45 degrees, like raining at night above 45 degrees, and the ground has to have thawed. Those were
Oh,
the,
really? Cold. It's pretty chilly. 45.
There was
yeah.
just that one night where it
Yeah.
was really warm. If you remember, like 2 weeks ago, it warmed up. Just that one night and it rained, and then it got cold again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you mentioned I looked at.
But-
I didn't see anything.
Yeah, okay,
That's what
yeah.
rain-
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what drizzly rain.
Yeah.
And I've seen like I typically go out at 8, and every time it usually takes to like closer to 9.
Yeah, it's late. Yeah, you have to be a night owl.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I don't know, like at like 11.
I think
thought,
it,
like,
yeah,
could be
it should
anything,
be.
yeah.
I think I got home at like 12.
But the wood frogs are already in their vernal pool, so they moved early. And salamanders probably, a lot of them probably came late. Peepers are already in the pool.
But yeah, it was cool. I highly recommend. It's very like
Yeah, it's
peaceful.
amazing. Awesome.
There's some big like spots.
One of the things we've talked about is buying some orange reflector vests and some headlamps for maybe next year. We have some gear for people so that if we do want to go out, because being safe is really important. Like we don't want to promote something where people are going to get like, you know.
It is
difficult.
stressful when like sometimes they won't come in your hand quick enough, and there's like a car coming.
Yeah.
I think it's probably might require 2 persons.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
probably is. And
The
we
oth-
should like let the town know when.
Yeah,
when
you have to
construction
let the
happens.
police
I've
know.
had the police call them. Yeah, I think just neighbors being like, "What is this guy?"
The other thing I mentioned to Zach, because I live out the completely opposite end of town, and years ago I had to give a talk in Western New Hampshire. It was on vernal pools, and it was raining when I left, and I ran over a lot of frogs. And the point being is, you don't necessarily want to drive a long way on a rainy night because you're going to run over stuff. And so if you can find a place near you, particularly if you can walk, but if it's just a short drive. But that's, I think if we can each find our neighborhood spot, that might be fun.
Yeah.
And potentially, oh, sorry. Chris.
Yeah, just to summarize, for these amphibian crossings, they happen at night,
Yeah.
it's raining above 45 degrees, around 8 to 9, and if people are interested, talk to you.
Yes, it could be like past 9, and also the ground has to be flat.
Okay.
Yeah.
I just had a thought, I didn't know whether this worked, but like a portable spotlight that's not, as a safety thing, just so that you know where, I mean, at the crossing, or something, just sort of
Yeah, they
portable
make
lantern.
They make like the
Flashing
you know the triangles that you could put on the road behind like a stop truck you see them sometimes.
Yeah.
They make those that flash. You could probably put one.
I
of those.
feel
Harris
you're
Center
getting into
recommends,
the.
like,
Sorry, go ahead. I feel like if you start putting up flashing triangular lights on the road in the middle of the night, you're probably going to get police coming saying, "Hey, what's the problem?" So just
Yeah.
I was saying on the road
They'd
necessarily,
rather
but next to
see that.
you. Next to you.
yeah.
Yeah, it's something to think about because actually in Keene they involve the
Yeah.
police and they shut down roads
Yeah, like
where
work
they have
safety.
Yeah,
really.
that's more
So,
what I was saying.
it-
If you're going to do something like that, just talk to the police. Like
Yeah.
flashlights probably don't, but if you like have too big a light and someone's driving at night, then,
Right. But yeah. So I think in summary, it's a really awesome opportunity, just like you were saying, just to get people out and to see like the really cool wildlife that exists here. I think it makes people more conservation minded, and you're also doing a good thing, helping. So I think it's something we'll just continue to talk about and plan for next year. Maybe ways we can be a bit more organized and get the word out.
Where did the maps that the UNH students made, where do those live?
They They're not probably particularly helpful for us. I think we have to go out. They were like more of a GIS base, so they weren't like an outdoor go look
Oh,
kind of thing, because it was like not
yeah, they
the right
just
time of
use,
year.
like-
Right, so it was more of a GIS analysis, which is kind of tricky. So it's more like we should just go out and look, you know, and maybe we can start making our own map of where these sites are.
Perfect.
And, so maybe there's a way, this, maybe the Harrison Center would inform other conservation commissions of the night. I could ask them, and maybe then people know that today,
Well, they put out that forecast. I think they would probably point us towards that.
rather than
Because-
the other way around.
Yeah, because we
Yeah,
like anyone who's
okay.
interested can sign up for that newsletter. So I
All
think
right,
we
I'll
should
do that.
get the word out
Yeah,
about
look at
that.
that website, they got a lot.
It's great. Yeah.
She might do one really soon, like, you know, one of our monthly meetings, February, January, February, or something. Like
Yeah.
that, just to, you know, really inform everybody.
Yeah, I'm sure. Brett is great. I'm sure. Yeah. So yeah, we can kind of keep chatting about that. If you're especially interested, feel free to reach out to me and we can brainstorm. Awesome. All right. Rain Barrel Community Program.
Okay, more rain. See, we're on a rain theme here. So years ago, we had a rain barrel program. We sold rain barrels one year, and that was quite a while ago. And then a number of people have been asking about whether we're selling rain barrels because of drought that we seem to be repeatedly getting. And there is a company in Massachusetts that makes some of the best rain barrels. And I had thought they weren't doing community programs anymore. And then I went online because somebody asked about them here in Newmarket. And I went online and I saw that Exeter was doing a community program and Salem, I think, through this company in Massachusetts, the Great American Rain Barrel Company. So I called the woman who runs it or owns it. And she said, oh, sure, we can do one. And so this was after our last meeting. So I'm like, well, okay, sure, let's do it. And the beauty of this program, it's pretty amazing, is that we don't really have to do anything except market the idea that people can buy a rain barrel, and we help with the distribution. So we picked June 6th, and DPW and engineering are really supportive of this because it helps people. It helps with our water quality issues in terms of some of our permitting. So the distribution will be at DPW on June 6th, and we will unveil. People can go now to the Great American Rain Barrel Company website, and you'll see Newmarket, and you can go to that site, and you can purchase a rain barrel, or more than one. And they take care of everything else. They take the money, you buy through them, they create a spreadsheet, and a few days before June 6th, we'll get the spreadsheet, and we just have to show up on June 6th and help pass them out to people.
And they're gonna deliver them right
They deliver them right to DPW. I think if it's during the, it sounds like it'll be during the week, and I think DPW staff will help unload, but we may need to assist that too. But
What's the rough cost, Ellen?
so they're about I think they're $89, which is if you do the community program, that is a discount from, I think they're $99 perhaps. And then Exeter's program is in April. It's just for Exeter residents. And I think the Conservation Commission was contributing some money so that there was an additional $10 off each barrel. And I had checked with a few people, including Val Shelton, who most of you know is on the planning board and been long involved in Newmarket. And she said, well, we should do that. And so she's donating, and that's what the purpose of this memo and vote is that she's donating $500 through her real estate company, Appledore, to provide $10 off for the first 50 barrels that are sold. And you get one coupon per household. You can buy more than one barrel for your household, but you get one coupon. So that's very generous. And so that brings it down to, I believe, $79 for a barrel. And then so the way these barrels work is you can just put it out in your yard, or mostly what we do is we attach it to a downspout off our roof. And you do have to buy there's a little metal adapter, and that's extra, which is, I think, like $30. But you order that online, too. You can go to the website. So I thought it was a great opportunity. We don't have to do anything except maybe help market it, which is pretty easy. We just get the word out, and also help with the distribution, which I don't think is a big effort. But the $500 donation really is going to go to the Great American Rain Barrel Company, but Val wants to donate it, so the best thing would be for us to accept the donation and then we pass it through, because we're able to do that. We can accept private donations and we can put it into our conservation fund and pay it back out. So yeah, that's,
We need a motion.
yeah, we need a motion to, yes, accept that $500 donation and then to pass it through to the Great American Rainbow.
Should I go ahead and make that?
Sure, and then we can have more discussion if we need to. Sure.
Make a motion that we accept the $500 donation and then pass it on to the Rain Barrel organization.
I'll second that.
Any discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
So the other thing is, if anybody can let me know if they want to help on June 6th. I know we're ways out, so we can talk to somebody too, but we'll probably need a few people to help, depending on the number of people. So the way we, I checked with a few people about this project to see if we should do it. And so the way we left it is 1 coupon per household, only for Newmarket residents, the coupon, or town employees. People felt like there are some people that, that work in Newmarket that don't live here, so the coupon is valid for them or if you're a resident. We have left it open that people from other towns can buy a rain barrel. They just don't have a coupon. So if you go on the website, you'll see all the information. It's very straightforward, very efficiently run. It looks like we might have a drop this year, so you might.
I'll help.
Oh, awesome. Great.
Time
The time is 9 to 11.
Oh,
on
missed
the
that.
June
9
6th.
to 11.
Yep.
Okay, great.
Great.
9 to 11.
9 to 11 at DPW.
Oh.
Yep. That's a Saturday. And Krista's, I gave the other nice thing is that the Rain Barrel Company, they create all the marketing materials too. They all really great information about why they're valuable. And Krista's going to take that and do some PR for it too. So we'll word out and then we'll put it up on our website. But essentially, you could go tonight or starting tomorrow and buy a Rain Barrel. And I think the deadline for ordering is actually all the way up until, sorry, a couple more things. In this conversation back and forth, Val Shelton actually knows the person who owns the company quite well, apparently. And we were going back and forth. I thought it would be really nice to have a rainbow as one of the raffle items at Turtle Fest. So because of all this, the Rain Barrel Company is donating the rain barrel for our raffle. So that's pretty cool. Yeah.
I just ask, do you know if there's screening on there against the?
Yes. So the barrels come. There is there's a top that you screw off, but there's a piece of screening that you put on, and then you put the top on. And then you get this tubing. So you have a tubing that comes out the bottom. So when you want to use the water, and then usually what you do is, it's amazing how much water comes off your roof. And so one storm, your barrel will fill up, and depending on where your barrel is, you don't want it to go into your foundation. So you might want to put your flat back up so the water goes back down better. That's the way we would do it anyway. Or you could just set it outside in the garden and have the rain collect. These are, so they're an import, they're in Boston. They import food from Italy, Europe somewhere. They import food, and then they turn these barrels into food. Yeah, it's a very popular program, and I have one of their barrels from 15 years ago. Got through the Dover program. So I think that's it.
Land production.
Back to me. Okay. Well, we did the Rosa, so I submitted the grant. We have one final grant, the Great Bay Resource Protection Partnership for 20-some thousand. That went in, and their deadline is April 15th. So presumably they'll take like a month to decide on those grant applications. Hopeful about that one. We've been partnering with the Southeast Land Trust, and they're pretty hopeful that we will hopefully get all of it, or at least most of it. And then we'll be very close to all of our funding. And we've already started the due diligence. I think we talked about that last meeting. So there's an environmental assessment that gets done. That's underway. The survey has been contracted out, the boundary survey. The town will do the title we have to do a title research, so those things are underway. And the Mitchell project, it's just out there. Apparently the federal folks are very slow. So we're hoping it was June. I don't think it's going to be June. We're just hoping it's still there, so our money is just waiting. We're ready. So we'll just have to get done soon.
Okay, our committee board reports. Town council.
So changes made to the charter was effective first. There is a road safety audit by intersection of 108 Terrace Drive and 108 Bennett. You know where former Rite Aid is. Those two streets. Basically, there's reasonable concern that if you're a pedestrian trying to cross that street, it is a bit of a risk. Also, I don't remember when, but it said there's been at least 64 crashes at those two intersections over a certain period of years. So we're looking at putting some potential legal points of traffic, something maybe easy for pedestrians to get across and people to not. Let's see.
I will say that
April 15th, the community power leadership will be coming to the town council starting at 6. That will be the presentation. This year, the community power, New Hampshire Community Power Organization, their prices are higher than what Eversource is currently offering. So they're going to report what the prices are, what the value of still being part of them is, and anyone interested in coming April 15th, starting at 6, I believe the workshop starts, and they will talk about, why the prices are what they are, and a bit more about the project. We approved the adoption of the 2025 multi-hazard mitigation plan. The last one we did was in 2018. They did not include things for pandemics, so this new one does. And yep.
All right, planning board.
Our last meeting, our next meeting is next week, or this next meeting is next week. At our last meeting, we mostly spoke about the, I don't know, it's called a charter, but the initial document creating a long-range planning subcommittee. I don't know if Bart spoke about that last month. I don't know what folks, if Bart kind of went
I don't
through
think
it.
he's talked to us about it yet.
Okay, so just it's pertinent to the Conservation Commission because they'll be asked if we do actually create the subcommittee. The Concom will be asked for one representative and one alternate representative. And basically, it's we went through kind of like some draft language, and now we have a second draft that we're supposed to be at next week, and it's called it's a long range planning subcommittee, and the goal is going to basically be to create a subcommittee that will meet at least once a quarter with the objective of kind of looking at the master plan and kind of tracking if we're actually making progress and talking to different people in town and seeing how the master plan is being implemented. Making sure it doesn't just sit there as an unused document. A lot of work goes into it and it has a purpose. So it's kind of it's to do that and then to kind of like project out to the future for even longer range, basically. And it'll be made up of a bunch of different folks. Planning board member, Conservation Commission member, town council member, school board member, Newmarket Housing Authority member, Community Development Corporation, and some town citizens, at-large members. So, and it's kind of like in a draft format. Kind of say like, this is where the direction the master plan is going. In 10 or 20 years, does that make sense? Like, it's really supposed to kind of like look at the master plan and beyond.
So my question was, is that something that we at the Conservation Commission should refer to or look at during the course of the discussion, or how would we, as a commission, employ that document in our decision making as a commission?
They're at the end. There's like a list of action type items at the end of the chapter. Land use and water resource chapter. I think it was that. And so they, and kind of, it's kind of like a list of objectives basically. Kind of explains how the thoughts within the chapter can be implemented.
So I guess what I'm asking, yeah. So the idea is to make that present throughout the town when we think about things. Is we should kind of have that at our elbow.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So I don't know if I'm doing a great job explaining what the committee is going to do, but I'll quickly just read the. There is a purpose statement. That might be super quick. Formulate, prepare recommendations, advancing concepts and strategies, especially to assist in the establishment further of a long-term community development plan for the town. This long-range planning process will be supported by engaging in discussions, conducting research, receiving testimony, and compiling recommendations that seek to enhance the town's agronomic, civic, economic, environmental, food security, infrastructure, there's some other stuff in there, habitable, public health, recreation, resource, managemental, and social, cultural heritage conditions. And again, it's in the draft form, and we'll go through it again on Tuesday. But review current master plans implementation, talk to town staff, and the idea is to get folks. It's kind of in its infancy, more or less, but it's to get people to come to the board and say, "What are you guys doing? You know, how is this working out? Where are your thoughts moving along in the future?" But if you're interested in being on it, I think it would be beneficial kind of to see the planning board discuss the creation of it. I guess is kind of why I'm mentioning it for the Conservation Commission, because it will be seeking one member and one alternate. Like in 4 times a year. Think through the long-term vision of the town.
Just, I think the impetus really is that people feel like master plans do just sit on the shelf. But I'll just say a little bit about what I think the Conservation Commission, what we've been doing, and that we have had an open space plan, which was adopted into the previous master plan, or the one before that. And we did one here, and it will be adopted into the new master plan. And I think if you look at our, remember we did, where if you remember those who were here, we have this series of implementation steps. And I do think we're a very proactive, active commission in town. We do a lot. And I think if you look at over the past 20 years, and if you look at what we're doing now and going forward, and you look at the implementation plan in the open space plan, and in the chapter, it'll be in the land water conservation chapter, is you'll see a lot of stuff we're doing is we are implementing it. So I think we're a good model for maybe some of the other commissions in town and other people. Not that they're not doing things, but I do think we do think about it and we do implement a lot of things in the master plan.
And I was nervous that it would seem as like a community thing that would bring people before and say, "Well, what are you doing?" I'm not doing much, right? Like, but it's meant to be like a collaborative thing. Like, we really want to do this. We're having kind of trouble doing it. What thoughts you have? Ideas you have? Maybe this wasn't the best idea. Change things. Like, this would be a collaborative.
Yeah, I think we're not, so that we're not all in our own silos. So that
Yeah.
we get cross-pollination. It's always good.
But other than that, it's something we discussed.
When do they get this worked out?
Well, the second draft of that's what I mean, I don't know what this is called, if it's like a charter or whatever it's called. It's a subcommittee, the document that creates the subcommittee. The second draft of it is going to be reviewed on Tuesday.
So if anyone's interested, they should reach out to you.
Not yet. I was saying that it might be a good idea if you're interested to watch that planning board meeting and kind of hear the discussion centered around the creation of the subcommittee, and kind of get a better feel of what the planning board members are thinking anyway by creating it.
I think Bart will come here and request.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, representation.
Eventually, yeah.
Okay.
Like I said, there was some other things about it. Ish. It was Bart's brainchild, so he could probably explain it much better.
Maybe for that one.
Yeah, we wanted him to talk about the zoning. The zoning changes.
Yeah, we didn't discuss it.
No, I know, but we wanted him to come tonight, and we have too much, so, just to give us an update on
Oh, okay.
that stuff.
Okay. Great.
Do you want
Just making a note of that.
to jump in on
What's that?
get some planning, remember we were on to bring up the new road. Did you guys talk about that yet? Was,
We didn't.
I was bringing it up, but it came back.
So there was a road development that came to us, it's a couple months ago now that development, so I guess that's been revised and the engineers have come back with it's better.
Could you just give a brief summary of what the
Sure. So this is a 30-acre kind of wooded lot road that Jones and Beach is proposing a subdivision of the Heron Point Sanctuary. So previous development that had some impacts to the development itself is on a bit of a peninsula that's surrounded by wetlands. They were relatively close to the wetlands last, and they had a few more impacts that we were comfortable with. So I have updated, but it sounds like we had tightened things up.
That's in the technical review.
That's-
Yeah, that's why we haven't. The planning board hasn't actually
Yeah.
seen it as a full technical
Yeah.
review.
So they're looking at like individual houses?
Individual. So, it's-
I think, is there a link on the planning site? We might be able to send a link out so people can see it. We can ask Bart if
Yeah.
people can see the new plan. Yeah, maybe we can't until after you guys review it.
It's in a copy of the document.
Okay,
So,
all right. Well, maybe if you know when it's available for the public. I wanted to update the
Okay.
Maybe we should add
Go ahead.
that to committee reports, just like planning board PRC,
Yeah.
separate from planning board.
Yeah.
Planning board.
This is sort of planning, so this is also like a peripheral thing to the planning, but if you remember last meeting, we talked about this proposal in Epping for the resource waste services of the company, and they want to expand, and there's been a ton of input from all the surrounding towns and from conservation organizations very concerned about the location, because it's right on the Piscassic River, and the expanding, and what kind of material are they going to be bringing, particularly from out of state. So the DES got so many, I think, comments that they asked the town of Epping to have a public hearing and an info session. So April 28th, there will be an information session. Both DES and the company will be there from 5:30 to 7 p.m. And then the public hearing will be at 7:15 p.m. I'm not exactly sure if it's a public hearing just on this. So they're going for an updated DES permit. But according to like Lamprey Advisory Committee, if they actually go ahead and put construction, they're going to need like an alteration terrain permit, which I think is then when you start to get into the impact and permit and so forth. So this is just like still the first, potentially the first phase of opportunities. But anybody's welcome to go. I had submitted a letter earlier on behalf of the Conservation Commission, just outlining why the Piscasset River is important. I don't know. I think some other towns are officially going to the public hearing to comment. So I don't know if we want to, if anybody wants to go, or if we want to provide further comment. I mean, there's nothing new to comment on except for what we provided before.
I was planning.
Okay.
But if there's something, voice something, reiterate.
Yeah, maybe we'll just forward the letter and you can just, restate the letter. You can also participate via Zoom and also comment via Zoom, but you either have to comment as an individual, as a private citizen, or you decide if you want official input.
Well, if I would go,
You could
then
still
I
provide,
wouldn't be able to read it.
Right,
Or-
no.
But if you want, then happy to read the letter,
Yeah.
that's appropriate.
yeah, maybe we could talk to Bart and see if wants to provide some comment and then decide who can go. So,
Could you say?
yeah, why don't we just be in touch? Is anybody else planning to go or want to go? I wasn't planning to go. I just too much going on.
I would.
Okay. Yeah, why don't we'll get in touch with Bart and you can figure it out.
Okay. Awesome. So, energy environment. George is not here tonight. Riverfront Advisory Committee. I know Jesse just joined, but thanks. That would be helpful. So, how do we?
Well, I think the town council voted to expand it, so I don't know. I think Bart is so maybe get in touch with Bart and see where they are in terms of. I think because it's going to expand, and I don't know if they've changed the tonnage, but just check with Bart.
I guess. And our school liaison's not here. Okay. So land stewardship. Just Luke or
Do you want to talk about the Hawk Park or no?
Yeah, so we have another land stewardship day coming up. So this is at Follett's Brook, which is a small pocket park on Aston Road. So we held a stewardship day here in the fall. We had a second one planned, but good amount of snowfall, so it got canceled. Figured we'll go back in 5th. Gotta get some people. It'll be a day. We'll be removing invasives. Just kind of helping to reset the area. Have a healthier state. Depending on how that goes, we have DPW on site or they'll come. All everything will go off. I think I believe it starts at 9:30. Depending on how that day goes, we might post another day there. Some just to finish getting on site. We had a pretty good progress last time.
Is there recommended equipment to bring?
So we do it through Nature Group at UNH, and they have a stewardship tool shed. So we sign out all the tools from there, including gloves. And so we bring all the tools, and people just need to. People can bring their own gloves, but just show up if you want, or snack. And we also posted on Nature Groupie, so that's a calendar where you can actually register to know if you're going to come. And I'll resend the link out to everybody. Ellen did a flyer for us, so we have the flyer, and you can register at Nature Groupie. It just helps us know how many people are going to come. We have 2 people that signed up so far.
All right.
Nature Groupie. Nature Groupie, and I'll send the information around.
Jess, next energy and environmental Fed meeting is April 22nd at 7 p.m.
Or she's on the riverfront.
Oh, sorry.
That's right, you can check her. So that's the April 25th. And then Newmarket Cares Day is when we have the high school students help us. We have them in different places. We can help them go back. So if we want more work, they're willing to go back to Follett Brook. So we can actually have 2 groups that day. I said, sure, if we can. I don't know if you're available. If we need to talk, because we had 2, which is in your memo, we had 2 senior students who wanted to buy a bike rack for Heron Point Sanctuary as an honors project. And I thought that was very cool because we have started to put bike racks, and they themselves said they like to go to Heron Point, but it's really hard to get there now because you can't drive in, but they would like to be able to bicycle there. And I checked with the community there, and I told them, you can go around the gate, you can walk around the gate, bicycle around the gate. And so I thought it was a great idea. So they're going to raise money for the bike rack. And we need a few other things to go with that. Karen Bloom, our DPW person, says we should chain it. Which you hope they won't do. And then because you're not allowed to bike on the trails, I do think there should be 2 new little signposts to say pedestrians only on the trail. The bike rack will be right there. So I suggested the bike rack that they get is about $670, and then a couple $100 for additional supplies. My hope is that they're going to raise the money before, and that, we would actually put it out there on May 22nd on Newmarket Cares Day, so they would be the ones to install it, and we do some other work out there. But because we're close, what I thought was, it's a little bit of risk for us because I don't know how much they're going to raise, but I thought if we approved helping them buy it, so we might have to order it, and then again, sort of get reimbursed from them. They're honor students. I think they'll raise some money. They're pretty earnest, and they've actually been. I've worked with them 3 years in a row now. They've come to the Newmarket Cares Day at Heron Point Sanctuary for 3 years. So I didn't realize it was them, and I said, "Oh, you guys, you're solid. You're solid." So, but I want to be sure that we can install the bike rack on Newmarket Cares Day. So if they haven't raised all the money by then, I thought we could still order it, and then they can conservation commission. So that's the plan. Yeah, if you're willing. So there's a motion, that's the last motion on that sheet, is to assist with the purchase of a bike rack and associated components spearheaded by the high school students and approving up to $870. And then accepting the donation back.
I can make a motion to approve $870 for the purchase of a bike rack for the Heron Point Sanctuary area, and then as Sawyer and Spencer raise the money, re-accept up to that amount back from the
Any discussion?
Just have a quick comment. So I went to Brian's last time, and so it's really cool back there, which is very flow, and
Oh, yeah. Yeah, send it, yeah. We might want to put that in other places, so, yeah, awesome, yeah, looking up for it,
How
sounds
big
great.
was the log? Real
It
big?
might be like the stable, maybe.
Yeah.
But it's round?
Round, yeah. Or you can sit on it too. Sit on it.
I love that.
Cut out.
That's really great.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye,
Aye.
thank you.
Is that everything for land stewardship?
Just the update, I did submit 2 grants, one for the Wiggin Farm Management Plan update and one for the Follett Brook inventory to the Great Bay Partnership, and that also was April 15th, so I think they'll decide on that again, probably within a month, so I would think Might not be by our next meeting, but.
Amazing. All right. Well, yeah. Thank you, everyone, for all the great work and bearing with my first meeting here. And our next meeting is May 14th, so hopefully see everybody at Turtle Fest in the meantime. All right.
Thanks, Zach.
Hey,
Thanks, yeah.
I can make a motion to adjourn.
Oh, you already.
Well, you can. I'll second.
All in favor, say aye.
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 Yay.